Hello, Your Politics. So I'm here today with Samuel K, a fellow politics vlogger, a fellow... I can't even speak tonight.
That's fine.
Let's do that again. Hello, Your Politics. I'm here today with a fellow politics vlogger, Samuel K. I first noticed this guy during the election. Some of his videos started popping up on my Facebook feed, and we got in touch and we started chatting. So, yeah, what made you get into vlogging, and why did you choose to vlog about politics?
Well, I got into politics last year, 2016. I think it was around the time Bernie Sanders was running.
Yeah.
And I think that campaign just was energetic. I liked what he was talking about. And I thought, you know, we had Jeremy Corbyn here in the UK. He was going through quite a bad time.
Yeah.
You know, obviously the press was doing their best to undermine him. But I think, yeah, last year I got involved in politics, and I got involved with vlogging specifically, I think, around the time Jeremy Corbyn was doing the election, and I had to say something, and yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it, isn't it? For me, what appeals to me about vlogging is that it's that ultimate realization of making your voice heard, which is kind of the foundation of political movements, isn't it?
Yeah,
people
absolutely.
making their voices heard.
Yeah.
And so I was really surprised that there's not more people vlogging about politics, because it seemed like the perfect fit to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think it would be good if we can encourage people to get into politics more and engage in that way.
Absolutely. I mean, I've had so many messages on Facebook from friends saying, you know, I didn't know you were into politics. I said, you know, listen, you know, it's not difficult. I mean, politics affects everyone. And I think the more people that get involved, the more people speak to their friends, make videos like we're doing, the more people start to come in, and the more our campaign was energized. We think to Jeremy Corbyn, I mean, his campaign was energized by young people like us, you know, so yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think about the state of the Tory party at the moment? I mean, we just saw at the conference that Theresa May was crumbling, coughing through the speech. I actually watched that live, and I was just...
Oh dear.
I kind of felt sorry for her.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd feel sorry for Theresa May.
Yeah, I mean, I'm split. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't like seeing anyone fail, especially on the world stage.
I'm the same.
But it does seem to me that karma might be real, because if you look back to when Jeremy Corbyn was struggling and when the media were attacking him, Theresa May revelled in it. She would go to Prime Minister's questions, she'd laugh, she'd get everyone in a party to laugh down Jeremy Corbyn and shout down everyone else. So I can't help feel sorry for her, but at the same time I am quite happy that it's all falling apart, because I think she's being exposed for who she really is.
I think you're right. I was in two minds as well, because as much as I despise everything Theresa May stands for, I never like to get personal.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing that bothers me a lot about people on the right, people on the left, especially on social media, when they start to make things personal. Because when you start making things personal, you lose the issues in my mind. So, like you say, I was in two minds, but at the same time, it was kind of sweet to see her kind of...
It's a falter. And you know, even when I started my channel, I said I didn't want to get into personal attacks. I wanted to stay on the issues. Last night I made a post about, I'm not sure if you saw it, about Theresa May. I said that I didn't feel any empathy for her, but I did back it up. I said, look, I can't feel empathy because here are our policies. Here's what she's done to children in terms of homelessness, in terms of poverty, in terms of, you know, school budgets being depleted. And I think I can't really feel sorry for you, because, you know, you've done this. You've done so many horrible things to this country. So yeah, that's where I stand on that.
And not only that, but we saw in the latter part of her speech, she was championing free market capitalism run wild. Yeah. So this is what was responsible for so much in society, so much inequality in society. And there she is, not learning her lesson, standing up back in these policies that have caused so much inequality in this country and in the world.
Yeah, I mean, what you have is a party which is essentially been left in the past. There was a public shift in thinking when the election happened and we got the results. We can obviously see people are tired of free market capitalism. They're tired of, you know, capitalists being allowed to run wild. What we need is to rein in the excess. No one is saying that there can't be millionaires and billionaires. No one is saying that. No one is saying that we don't appreciate the work of employers. We know that they do a lot of work as well, some of them anyway. But what we're saying is that the excesses of capitalism need to be reined in. And I think Jeremy Corbyn and the manifesto that we had this election really spoke to those issues. It said, listen, you know, we understand that there are employers in this country, but what we are proposing is the richest in our society pay £20 more tax a week. I don't think that is unreasonable at all. I think that's quite a reasonable proposal, and I think that Theresa May and her cabinet really didn't catch on to the public mood, and I think she suffered as a result.
And she's playing catch up now.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
She's talking about controlling the energy market a bit more.
Yeah.
She's talking about capping student fees. We don't want to cap them, we want to get rid of them.
Yeah. And
She just doesn't get it.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
so
there's so many bold proposals coming out from Labour, and like you just said, it was just perfect analogy, just catching up. It's not good enough. And it just shows you that even in a time of despair in the Conservative Party, they're coming out with so and so proposals. Well, we're not going to get rid of tuition fees. We're going to maybe cap them a little. It's not going far enough. And I suspect that if Labour is able to keep up the momentum they have, no pun intended, the momentum they have up until the election, I reckon that the Conservatives will find themselves in a very weak position.
And I think it's insulting for young people because
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, people think that young people weren't engaged because they were apathetic, because they weren't interested, but it wasn't true. Young people are quite savvy, so when they see politicians lying again and promising things that they never deliver, then they don't engage in politics.
Yeah.
So when they saw Labour, someone that was promising a real change, they got engaged. But then when the Tory party comes along and says, we're going to give you watered down versions of these policies, because you turned out to vote, they're just chasing votes again. And young people know that. They're savvy. They know that. They're not stupid.
Yeah, it's a shame the Conservatives aren't the savvy. They're playing catch up, and it really does speak to how out of touch they are. That they, like you said, are insulting us. They don't realise that, listen, we have all the facts. We are in the age of the internet. I can see everything Theresa May has voted for. She had voted to triple tuition fees. I've seen that. So why now all of a sudden, when your party is in a bit of a mess, you're now starting to play catch up and you think we can't see what she's doing?
Yeah.
Well, we can see it. It's very clear to see.
So I think the message that I've got for people is get engaged in whatever way you can. Whether that be making videos, posting on the internet, going to marches, just making your voice heard. What would you say?
Yeah, I'd second what you said. I think people need to realise this is a time, especially with very maddening politicians like Trump, that we need to keep up the political energy. Now is not the time, now is not the time to be complacent and give up and throw our hands in the air. I think now is time to double down on what we believe and push the government even further left. I mean, we've seen it does work. I've said to people during the election, we have to engage. I said, no, politics are all criminals, nothing can work
They're
for us.
all the same.
Yeah, well,
I've heard that line so many times.
And one thing I would say, I think one of the things that I would like to really emphasise on is, don't just assume all politicians are the same. We have the internet. We can check their voting record. If they're an MP, go online, check, I think the website is theyworkforus.co.uk, and you can see a comprehensive list of all the things they voted for from when they joined Parliament up until now. And you can see where their allegiances are. So I'd say do the research and get behind someone, because there is someone for you out there.
So guys, as I always say, stay safe and stay engaged. Cheers, Sam. Thanks, mate.